So for the next message from an ET, um, the question was, "What is my guide's name?" And that's a specific question to a specific person. But I did pull Hetoe, who is a Sasquatch, and when I randomly rolled my randomized generator, and talked to him, and he actually had some pretty good input on it. Uh, and a few things to remember. When I say ETs, it's a general term that everybody understands, but I use it to just, instead of saying ETs, interdimensionals, fae, all these other labels, I just use it right now as an all-encompassing thing of other beings. He too is a Sasquatch, very playful, lives down by the river where I live, has a clan down there. And he actually said his clan name for the first time ever. I've never asked him, and he's never given up that information, but he gave it up in here for some reason. And I talked to him last night, and we talked for a little while. He was sitting by his tree, sitting right by the river. His world's a little bit, it's almost like he's a little bit in a different world. So the sky's a little bit different sometimes when I'm working with him. He had more of a fuller moon up above, and we had cloud cover, and he's only 10 miles away, which could have been the case. He could have had clear skies. I don't know. But that's what I saw. He was in dark, sitting by his tree, just down by the river. Connected with him, and I asked him, "What was your guide? What would you say to somebody asking what is your guide's name?" And Hetoe started talking. And before I say this, Hetoe is very playful, very loving, very kind, very childlike. He usually speaks in very short sentences, paraphrasing, or like phrases, not paraphrasing, but phrases, and normally speaks in a very childlike way. Only once or twice when I've asked him stuff down by the river has he sat down, become really serious, and spoken more like a wise man, I guess, in full sentences and all that. And so as he's speaking, he's like, I could feel him like breathe in deeply, breathe out, center himself, and then he starts talking. And then when he's done, he's kind of like, "Okay, let's play now." So this is what he said. "What is your guide's name?" Hetoe says, "Have you asked? Have you asked the name of your guides? Have you looked up at the stars? Are you looking around and questioning things? Have you walked through the woods and wondered who is looking at you? Have you understood that you're not alone? Do you understand that we watch you from all around? But how can you know us if you don't ask us? How can you know our names? Many are guides. All in life are learning, but many are not guides. Many are your friends. Many are family. Many are travelers and explorers. Many are just wanderers. But you have to ask the questions. You have to ask, what is their name? But not ask others. If you wish to communicate with us and others, you must ask us to bridge the connection to build your trust. You must build the trust with us rather than seek it outside. So sit down, put your hands together, fold your legs, as humans often do, and let your mind drift into the ethers. Let your mind become one with those around you and ask them questions. Ask them their name, but understand that a name is just a name. My name is Hetoe, but that's not really my name. That's the name I gave Will, a name of fun, a short name, an easy name for him to understand, a name for you to understand, because the name is just a name. We all have our names, our soul names, our spirit names, but humans worry too much about labels. Do you really need to know the name of your guide? Does it matter as long as you're working with them? Does it matter as long as they're helping you? Why do humans worry so much about names? We don't need to know the names. We know the person, the entity, the energy. We know the vibration. We know the being. We know those who we work with. We call them friends and family. They need no other name because we know. We are friends and family. Will is my friend. Brought me bananas once. I didn't eat them. It was a test to see if he would trust. But he brought them. I do like bananas. We have no need for them though. Don't forget to look up at the stars. Look up at the stars and ask the questions. Don't seek it outside with another. You can, but to seek outside is to avoid trusting yourself. Trust yourself. We are here. We are many, all over. Many Sasquatches, beings like me, many others, what you call ETs, what you call fae, what you call angels, many others, beings in the woods you would never understand. But they're here. They are all around, and most of them want to talk. But how can they talk to you if you don't ask them? People ask people, when really people should be asking the others they wish to speak with. That is all. My name is Hetoe, Sasquatch by the river of the clan Kalamesh, where we are many, and we are not here to harm. We are here to live, laugh, play, be, see, experience, and laugh. We are here and we see you, the clan Kalamesh. So, I need a second. He basically talks about a lot of the things I talk about on other reels and things that labels, names, defining things, it doesn't matter. What matters is energy. That's all that matters. You don't necessarily need the name of your guides. You just need to know that they're there. That's it. The names don't matter. As long as you know who they are, know what they feel like, know why they're there, what they're doing to help you, and work with them, the name is meaningless. It's the reason why I've met so many ETs, but have no names for them. I don't have names for them. I don't have names for the race because I don't ask. It doesn't matter to me. What matters is who they are. The name doesn't matter. The label doesn't matter. Who they are matters. What their energy is, what their intention is. That's what matters. So when everybody, and I understand the human aspect too of, hey, can we have a name? It's very, very good to have a name, and it gives us an identifier to, when we say, hey, like when I go, hey, I met a turtle humanoid, I asked him, what do I call you? And he just sifted through my mind, and like, I'm like, here's some names, and he's like, Fred. I like Fred. I'm like, perfect. Call you Fred. It helps, like when I'm writing books, to give them a name. It helps when we're in discussion to give them a name, so people know who we're talking about, rather than just saying they, them, he, she, or whatever pronoun you want to use. Those are vague. Names are specific. And we're not a fully telepathic society. A lot of the reason they don't use names and labels is when you're telepathic and somebody starts saying he, she, they, we know exactly who they're talking about because we can see it. We can see the image, we can feel the energy, we can understand telepathically what's going on. So there's no names. There's a lot of, less need for names, less need for labels, because telepathy fixes all that, gets rid of all that. But that's the idea, is that all you need to know is to sit down, meditate, talk to your guides, work with them, learn their energy, why they're there, who they are. If you want a name, ask them. Personally ask them. I've had so many readings where ETs and guides and ancestors have given me names, and then people are like, oh, they gave me a different one. It's okay. They give me a name just because other people want a name, or I want to be able to put a name with it for the reading because that's what people appreciate, and they can call them that. But there are often times when those names come through, because like ETs often don't give me a name. A lot of their names can't be pronounced, can't be translated into human language. So they pull a word. It might be like a verb. It might be a noun. It might be an adjective. Like it could be anything. They'll just pull a word and be like, call me this. They can call me this. And then oftentimes they'll say, that is the name they can use for now. Meaning when a person starts working with them, they will probably give them another name or a real name, or let them pick a name they want to call them. And then oftentimes they'll say, I'm not going to give you a name. They have to earn the name. They have to come to me and build trust to get a name to use for me, because it's about building trust and relationship and communication and friendship and family and all that. And if you don't build that, the name is pointless, because the name is a focus in humanity. The name means nothing. What matters is who they are. So shift ideas from worrying about labels and identities and all of that to what and who something really is. Now I know the person in question probably was really like interested in, oh, hey, what's my guide's name? But what I would recommend is sitting down in meditation, doing a meditation and asking them, hey, can you give me a name? And to remember, you don't have just one guide. You have many guides. You have many guides that are assigned to you. You have many friends and family who are trying to help you from other places. So you might get a name one day and then be like, get a name the other day and think you know, misunderstood the name, but actually be working with multiple guides. We all have many friends and family around us, and they're all here to help. But it's up to us to do the work to connect with them, to build trust, and in a lot of cases, to earn the name that they want to be called or that you pick to call them. So I hope that helps. Again, Hetoe's a Sasquatch. And Sasquatches, though, and I will be very clear about this, the beings who call themselves Sasquatch are very peaceful and friendly. There are very many other beings. There are a lot of other beings out there that are confused with Sasquatch because everybody wants to say, I saw something in the woods. It looked like a big man with hair. It's Sasquatch or it's Bigfoot, and they use the terms interchangeably. Not everything people report as Sasquatch is actually Sasquatch, which is why you have to communicate with them. It's why you have to be able to talk to them to say, hey, what do you call yourself? What are you? And they'll tell you, call me Sasquatch. A lot of them don't like to be called Bigfoot. But, and I'll say that of those I've met, but in Arkansas, when I was with a Sasquatch friend who was bringing another to me, the one coming to me who had a different look to her called herself Bigfoot. She wanted to be called Bigfoot. That's how she identified. So unless you ask them, you're not going to know what they want to be identified as. And that's why we have to learn to communicate. That's why we have to do the work ourselves to communicate, because when we have our own personal experience, it's up to us to find the information we need to understand what's actually going on and who's actually there. So continue doing the work. Watch the reels I post on Instagram, the videos. I have the books. Listen to other experiencers and understand that not everything out there is the same. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of beings around us, as Hetoe says in his message. Thank you for watching, and there'll be another ET channel in a few days.